So, welcome to my mud pit. This is what we're working on at the moment. Is cleaning this stuff out. I don't know how far back in there you can see. So we're running light with the generator. And you can see the track wheel right down there, right where my foot is. So we've cleared that far all the way now. And what we have is a lot of silt. Came down here when this tunnel had a lot of water in it. There's still a bit in here. You can see that we're clearing track into here. So there's a lot of mud and crap like that built up. I don't know if you can see there's the floor. The mud when we opened the tunnel was clear up into here, so that's pretty damn near close to waist high. When we opened this thing up, it was just rolling down here. So this is a very, very old mine. You can see some stalactites even forming up there from just the calcium runoff over the years in the ceiling. And I don't know if my light is good enough to go all the way back in here, but we'll try to go in the back for a ways once I get my light on my head, and we'll try to do that. There's actually a vein right down in there. So we're just running drop lights and cleaning. There's still, you can see a lot of stuff down in there. Still, I got to clean out, and it gets worse going in. You know, we're actually kind of almost through the worst of it here. This is about the tail end of the pretty bad stuff. So I'm going to go get the light on my head, and we will go back a little further and try to see if anything will show up on the camera and see if anything can be seen while we're going in. And I will try to take you on a little tour, I guess. And my light on my head, we're going to go back in here. I don't know if you can see much or not. It may illuminate a little bit as we get further in here. Or it's probably just going to turn out to be black on the camera, is my bet. So this is about 120 feet in. You can see back down the hill. This is actually where a lot of our muck seems to be coming from, is this little side drift here, which I don't know if you can see much going back in. But this seems to be where it mostly seems to be coming from. So I got to clean up into here. There's the part of the vein there. So we're going to turn around, go back. So there is the air line, and of course the tracks. And there's the air line's broken right there. That's got to come out though. You can see right here, it's actually in the way of the track. And it's not essential anymore. So it's not too bad coming into here, apart from assorted muck, but you can see how it was, I don't know if you can see the difference between the dry stuff and the wet stuff. So the wet stuff, that is where the tunnel was packed full of mud when we opened it. Let down in there, I don't know if you can see that. That's actually a rotted out timber down in there, long, long gone. So this is kind of a good example of things to see. You can see these are the pick marks of the miners when they were going in here. They were working in this. This is serpentine here. So it's actually soft enough to work with a pick. It stays up, but it's soft. So we're actually right here on the contact. You can see the serpentine here still. That we do eventually get into greenstone further on. But this is all serpentine here. So we're gonna continue on. And as I said, it's probably pretty dark. Here's a little stringer in here of no real consequence, in my opinion. More of those pick marks up in there. So, station 6. We're actually going back here as far as 15 is where we're heading. Like I said, I don't know if the light's good enough. There's the air lines again. I don't know if you can see those. Got the track, air lines. Sample number 7. Everything in here marked. There's the vein. 7. You can hear my voice echoing in here. A lot of people don't like coming underground because it kind of freaks them out. There's kind of some interesting stuff up there. I don't know if you can see that. Big chunk of pyrite. Right there. Big cubical one. There in the vein, and that is, see that? That's not gold. That's just a big chunk of pyrite. If I remember right, I think there was, here in this spot, you see the vein running in the ceiling, there was some visible gold showing here at one point. Kind of an interesting spot down here when we first came in here. I don't know if you can see. We got a glove and a couple hacksaw blades. Back in that's probably been there for ages. That's a pretty old glove there. That back about 1930 when this mine was operating, there was a bit of a management problem going on in that the mine president of the company, he ran off with the mine manager's wife. Needless to say, the mine manager was just a little pissed off, and he shut the mine down, and when they did, they just dropped tools, and that's one of them, still sitting there from the 30s. I've looked at that stuff, but that's basically just an old pair of gloves that some miner dropped back in the day. That obviously when they downed tools, when the couple owners ago came in here in the 70s, he was the first one to reopen this. Had been the first one in here for 30, 40 years. Said when he got in here, he found all the tools just like they were left, like they just went to work, went home for the day, and they were done. More vein material in here. I got the galena intrusions in it, which is, see the galena intrusions there. That's a pretty good indicator. Got some down here, right there, there. And that's a pretty good indicator for our ore, is this galena. There is the air line still. I don't know if you can see the track ties going like that. Station 10. And we're still going. This is kind of an interesting, it's getting into some very peculiar staining. You can see this through here, and this is all just gnarly looking stuff up in there. I don't know if you can see that. And now we're getting more into, out of this serpentine, we're starting to get more into some greenstone showing up now. There's some more vein material. I can kind of hear my generator purring off. This is 11. And this is just kind of a short raise goes up where they went up and did some sampling. And there's a lot of this streaking and stuff like that in here. Real, I don't know if you can see that real rusty band there. It's kind of difficult to tell in here. This is kind of some impressive looking stuff. And this is just various minerals leaching out. You've got your, obviously your black stuff, which is your rust and your oxides, and then you've got a lot of this calcium leaching out, forming stuff like this. You know, you can see where it's been dripping for years and years and years, and just building those up. So that's kind of cool. So we got a lot of work to do in here, and we've actually got to come all the way in here to get our work done. And it kind of gets cramped right here. I got to duck past that mess. And you can see all this calcium buildup in here. More of that black streaking and calcium buildup and stuff like that in here. So it's pretty damp going all through here. There's some really ugly black shit, rusty staining more or less. And really old assay mark here. Old hanging spot, probably for hanging a light or a candle or something. Old assay mark. If we were on Ghost Mine, they'd say that's Masons were in here, but they weren't. It's just an assay mark. You know, when you're in here in the dark, you know, you can kind of make anything out you want. There's the vein there. So the vein's going in, and these are pretty low grade stuff. We're actually in the low grade area. We're 14, so we're actually kind of near the end of the line here. We're going to be going into where we're going to be working. So anyway, this is part of the mess we have to deal with. We're kind of station 15 here. So this is some of the stuff we got to work. You can see all that material falling in there. Just material after material after material. And we need to go further on is what we need to do. And then unfortunately, we encounter this. Maybe some of you have seen photos of this before. But this is basically all the crap that's fallen in. And there's the top of the tunnel up there. I don't know if you can see that, but see all the crap? There's part of the tunnel. So basically a few feet in front of us, there is a raise. And this raise goes all the way to the surface, and they did some open pitting here on this mine up on the top of the hill. And unfortunately, when they did that, a lot of this stuff, it got knocked down the rail. My camera shut off back in there. So I don't know if you can even see all this crap that's in there. I mean, you can probably see some, but there's the top of the tunnel. And if you look down, that's all crap falling in. You can see the hanging wall there. Coming down, there's the air line, it's buried. And here's all this crap falling down. Anyway, this is what we have to work on. We have to start mucking this crap out. It's got to get out of the way if we want to get past it. And the good ore is past it. So that's it for the mine tour. This is the lower level, and there's a lot more to see, but that's this for this level. I'm going to go back to muck